Welcome to Sacred Sundays. I'm Ashley, and thank you for joining me for episode 5. This morning, I hosted the in person Sacred Sundays where we spend around an hour really diving deep into one concept. And today's session was all about wholeness. And I really wanted to explore why feeling whole within is such a powerful energy. Because when we already feel whole within ourselves, we can express ourselves fully, and it's not to earn approval, but as this authentic offering to the world. And we move away from asking, do they see me? Am I enough? To what am I here to contribute? And I had this huge awakening. It was around 2 years ago on this very concept. What does it actually mean to feel whole and complete? And I was out on my morning walk and I was almost walking and meditating on this energy. And I was just simply repeating back to myself, I'm whole, I am complete. I don't need anything externally. I have everything I need. And it's a really simple practice. And as I was walking, there was a guy who walked past me. And there was just something in his energy about how he walked. It was like as if I knew he was searching for something. So I was observing him and I noticed he started searching the ground. He was looking for cigarette ends and he was looking at the top of the bins and the ashtrays. And it served as such a powerful reminder that I could sense that in his energy before he'd even acted in such a way. And it acted as such a mirror for me in that moment. And I received this huge download. If I could feel that neediness just energetically, and not in a way of judging this person, his addiction to cigarettes and lack of finances was fueling this energy. But what was fueling all my addictions? Mine might not have been a substance that I was addicted to, but I was still addicted to needing to be validated, to be seen in a good light. And I could see in that moment all my behaviors, my words, my thought patterns, all the ways I was showing up, needing to take attention, take acceptance. And it's also automatic that often we're not even noticing when we're doing it. And don't get me wrong, wanting to be seen isn't wrong. Every human being longs to feel appreciated and understood, and also acknowledged and respected. I don't see anything wrong with that. The challenge comes when our sense of worth depends on it. And if we didn't have it, let's say, all the people in your life right now turned on you, would we still feel whole within ourselves? And most people would say no, because the moment our value relies on someone else's recognition, we hand our power away. Instead of just expressing who we are, we're starting to perform and edit ourselves to become more acceptable. And we will start chasing approval from people who may never truly understand who you are. Have you ever noticed that some people just don't want to understand? And we spend all this time trying to make them see. I'm very aware that there will be people in my life, even from afar, whether it is family, even people I went to high school, all these people in our lives, you will always face judgment. And it won't be necessarily everyone, but the same will be true for you. And often the discomfort in feeling judged stops us from expressing who we truly are. I know for me, my spirituality, maybe my lifestyle, what I post on social media, and my beliefs about the world and connecting to a higher power. A lot of people I know will think that is weird. And for a long time, I kept this part quiet. It felt very unsafe to express and be seen this way. And I ask you now, what part of yourself are you holding back? What part of you are you afraid of fully embodying because you feel you won't be accepted or validated? It's like when we're around someone who we deeply admire. You might become quieter because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing. Maybe you overcompensate or try harder, hoping that they'll notice you. Or it could be the complete opposite. Maybe you shrink in their presence because their success makes you feel smaller. When we act this way, this is a signal that we don't feel whole inside, that we need something. We need their recognition, approval, and acceptance. What we're really doing in this moment, we're taking. We aren't contributing. Because when we already feel whole inside, there's no shrinking, there's no hiding who we are or overcompensating. Instead of simply being impressed by someone else, we can choose to become involved. Because when we're so captivated by someone else's light, we often forget that we're here to shine our own. And maybe for you, it might not necessarily be someone that you look up to or admire. Maybe for you, it's showing up right now with a loved one, a parent, a sibling, maybe even your own child or just a friend. And you may love them deeply and you take care of them without question, but you don't receive the same love, recognition, or respect, and maybe appreciation in return. And you're getting frustrated with this because you feel like you're giving so much. But I ask you now, are you actually giving? Are you trying to earn their approval and respect so much? What would it feel like to take a step back? What would it feel like to fall into that wholeness? Maybe right now, the best thing you can do is find peace and acceptance in that dynamic. Let go of the need to receive and remind yourself that you're already whole without it. Once you get to that place, only then are you able to confront and express your needs, because if you confront from a place of need, you're likely going to repel the very thing that you seek away. Likely you'll get heated or emotional because you have a dependency and an attachment on what it is that you want to receive. And if it doesn't go your way, you'll likely become reactive. All reactivity comes from a place of pain. So, what is driving this need? When you're already whole within, we are detached from any outcome because we don't need it. We can express ourselves without needing it to go our way. We simply find truth. That's all. We're able to hold space for the conversation to take place, and then we can understand and build from that place. It's also important to recognize when we're in the energy of wholeness, people will feel it. It's a very powerful energy. So, the person that you've felt needy of, whether you needed their love or respect or acknowledgement, they will feel the shift in your energy, and naturally, you'll find that dynamic change. And think of the energy of neediness. It's like when you walk into a shop. Think about when you walk into a shop and you just want to browse, and straight away the shopkeeper or the manager comes across and they want to start talking to you about all the items. Immediately you feel this pressure, like they need something from you, like there's a pressure for you to purchase something, and automatically maybe you just want to leave the store. We've all probably experienced that before. It's the same when we're dating. Think about a time that maybe you've not been as invested as the other person, and maybe you felt the pressure from that person, the overtexting, wanting to spend so much time with you. You felt a need that you, in some way, were responsible for that person's happiness, or it is, it made you want to run, it made you want to leave. But when we're in this energy of wholeness, think about dating someone that felt completely whole, like they didn't need you for their happiness. They were detached from it working out with you. You'd feel less pressure. You'd be able to enjoy the time you spent because you didn't feel a pressure. When we're whole, we're essentially saying, there's nothing outside of me that I need to take. I already feel it within. Now, wholeness not only helps us in our relationships and our interactions, it also changes the way we see ourselves, our power, and our abilities, and what we came here to create. So I ask you now, is there something that you want to start, but maybe you don't feel good enough? Is there a version of you that you've been preparing to step into, but you've been waiting to feel ready? So often we don't start because someone else is already doing it. Maybe you're comparing yourself to their levels of success. And I was having this exact conversation with a friend the other day, and he's an extremely talented DJ and producer, yet he questions whether he's good enough to start really going for it and putting his work out there. And he was telling me all these insecurities and stories keep coming up about all the potential judgment, not working out, and being seen as a beginner. And he's deeply passionate. And he was speaking to another successful DJ. And when he went back and listened to his tracks, they honestly sounded remarkably the same. And he told him something really powerful. He told him that excellence is never the starting point, it's the result of starting. Every person that you admire was once a beginner. All the experts once created something that they were embarrassed by. Every person who inspires you today once questioned whether they were good enough. And the difference wasn't perfection. The difference was that they had the courage to begin. So wholeness is such a really powerful state to be in. When we are, we can start to express ourselves freely without caring about everyone else's opinions, receiving their acceptance. We don't care if we're criticized because we're giving ourselves the space to just start. I know myself when I'm in this needy energy, it's so unsettling. We're essentially placing our power into another person's hand or putting our power on a specific outcome. And that's so limiting. When we feel that wholeness within, we can stop caring about the external world and all its opinions so deeply. So I ask you now just to pay attention to when this energy rises up in you. Just simply become aware of it. You are not your thoughts. You are the one that observes them. So observe them, not only the thoughts, but your reactions and the discomfort, and just simply allow it to flow through you. In these moments, remind yourself that you are already whole. Your worth and your happiness does not depend on this. You can choose you. And just notice all these fears, the limiting beliefs and stories. Simply go back to yourself in the present moment. Anytime we allow the mind to take over, we fall into suffering. So get present. The more you practice wholeness, the more you'll recognize that these thoughts and emotions telling you that you need something externally to make you complete and happy will very soon begin to reduce. Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you'd like to experience this work in person, I'll be hosting the next Sacred Sundays at the end of August. I'll be sharing that date very soon. Until next time, have a wonderful Sunday, everyone.